Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. How we doing? Are we good? All right. So I was saying, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to the morning. Can you guys see how tired Weston looks right now? Weston is absolutely done. I had to wake him up this morning. Overslept, but we have to give it to him for at least 2 days in. He's here, right? It's definitely a struggle. You guys have to admit, like when it came down to like maybe for you, especially at 6:30 a.m. having to wake up every single morning. Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun today. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna start sharing my screen again. I really just want to focus today on you guys. I'm gonna talk very quickly about certain positions that I do see value in, but mainly I'm gonna try to pay attention to whatever it is that you guys are asking me to do. Yesterday, I felt like I was very focused on my trading, and I didn't even do very well when it came down to like trading live within our live stream. So I'm just gonna try to focus more on answering your guys' questions. I hope that that's something that we can do. Okay, if I see an opportunity, of course, I'll probably take a position. But overall, I really just wanted to have a much stronger focus on you guys. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I am looking at. I was paying attention to forward slash NQ. So the NASDAQ ETF, right? Let me go ahead and move this on over very quickly. Here we go. Alrighty. So we got GDDY showing signs of an uptrend. Here we go. Move to the East Coast. Hey, that's a solution, right? Holy Tesla. Where's that at? Let's check it out.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm looking at it right now.
Yep. I mean, it's not that impressive based off of where it closed and where it pushed up right now. It's about less than 1%, but it dropped just as much and then it pushed up. So again, understand when something is overbought and overextended. Again, keep a very close eye on the RSI and the MACD. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Pre-market highs was around 269. Again, nothing wrong with locking in profits, and if it continues to uptrend, you can always make the decision to get back in, right? That's always something that you have the option of doing. Good morning, Brandon. Yeah, tacos, what's up, what's up? Let's check this out. So, all right, whatever it is that you guys want me to break down, I'm going to cover very quickly the direction of what it is that I see trending up and trending down. Can you guys help me, right? Hey, Wes, for this one, Weston and Learn Plant Profit team, what do you see going on for natural gas? Is this thing indicating signs of an uptrend, indicating signs of a downtrend, or just flatlining?
It's flatlining.
Is this something that you want to take a position on?
No.
Why wouldn't it be?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no...
I'm asking it. You're not wrong.
Is that
natural gas, forward
one
slash
day,
NG.
1 minute?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no signs of an uptrend at all.
No signs of an uptrend, right?
For the last, however long that's been.
That's been for the past about 10, 11 hours.
No.
No direction,
Absolutely
right?
Not.
And it doesn't mean, I want to make sure that this is clear, it doesn't mean you can't make money off of this, right?
Yeah.
You can still buy the low points and sell the high points, but then the margin of profit, the opportunity cost might not be worth it that much. So you guys all have it correct. No consolidation, no clear direction. Right now I just got the alert that forward slash NQ is showing signs of a downtrend. We should see the same thing following with forward slash ES. Where's my forward slash NQ? Where you at? Let's see. Why do I always miss these, man? GC. Maybe like this. There we go. All right. Here we go. Well, it was showing signs of a downtrend. It picked up almost right away. Holy moly, this thing likes to pick up. But overall, one thing that I want to point out very quickly, and again, this is how it was trading during pre-market hours. It was doing a very impressive job, trading between the middle and top VWAP and making higher lows and higher highs. Do you guys see that? But then it's when it hit highs of 7686 that it really began to no longer make higher highs. It began to consolidate. It broke below the SMA line, which is this green line, and then it began to make these lower lows and these lower highs. So we don't know if the overall direction is going to change. But again, the SMA line is no longer pointing up as it was over here. It's now kind of almost consolidating or showing signs of a downtrend. So again, just keep a close eye on this, because if /NQ sells off, and if it begins to sell off aggressively like we saw yesterday, then again, that's not in favor of its correlating ETF and overall major markets, right? Let's see. All right. /NG could be selling off, actually. I mean, we didn't see that, right? So yeah, it's downtrending right now, but it's still staying within these lows and within these highs. So there's no clear direction of where it's going. It's just consolidating. So I was paying a lot of attention to /CL. I've been up since 4 in the morning, trying to see what to take a position on, and nothing was too clear just yet. But one thing that I did see is, based off of where it closed at yesterday for /CL, and again, this correlates on over to UWT, we saw signs of a downtrend, but then we saw signs of an uptrend of this thing making higher highs. And again, the middle, bottom, and top view up are great indications to have a better understanding of where the direction is going. And it was showing signs of an uptrend. It sold off, right? So now one of two things can happen. This thing is gonna, begin to reverse and make higher highs and follow through with this overall direction, or we'll consolidate here. We'll end up getting rejected, and then it sells back off, just kind of like we saw right here, where then it'll drop back down to around this general area of 63220, right? Yeah, I have a video in the course explaining how I add to my position size, how to average up. So if you haven't completed the course, that would be an area of opportunity just to make sure that you cover. So, okay, I'm done talking about the series of different futures and the correlating ETFs. Let's just focus on you guys, right? So JDST up 5% on the day. So again, let's keep a very close eye on /GC. First of all, congratulations. Again, I want you guys to understand that, first of all, this is not something that I really saw happening on the 5-day, 5-minute chart. Yes, /GC was showing signs of a downtrend. So, bless you. I can see why, in a sense, with the overall direction, you might be in favor of JDST, because if /GC continues to sell off, then that means that JDST will push up, right? One thing that I want to make sure that we keep a very close eye on is how much more is this going to sell off, right? There's nothing wrong with locking in profits, and if we begin to see a change of direction, then be okay with locking in profits and simply walking away. Here we go. AMD skydiving.
AMD, I remember that.
Here we go. Yep. Advanced Micro Devices. Yep. So it's still showing signs of a downtrend. So great call out on the overall 180-day chart. Yep, and it recently broke below the overall SMA line. So I'll set an alert to see if this thing begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. But until then, it did push up quite a bit. Nice, it pushed up about 1% on the day. That doesn't matter if you didn't hold it overnight. Right now, the direction is trending down, and that's what I'm really paying attention to. Just lost $98 on JNUG. Yes, I mean, Billy, maybe we could pay a little bit more attention to /GC. Just like we pointed out, /GC is showing signs of a downtrend. So JNUG then, because it follows, it has a correlation to /GC. We could see that it wouldn't make much sense to then take a position on JNUG when the overall direction is trending down. All right. Here we go, the ticker call out format. Thank you for posting it. DS, ticker symbol ADS. Perfect, let's break it down. Here we go. So on the 1-day, 1-minute chart, it looks like it had a huge sell-off yesterday, really just consolidating today. So not much pushing up, not much pushing down. Okay, I can see why you're calling this one out. The overall direction of this was trending down. It looks like it mainly was getting rejected by this SMA line. So it was showing signs of an uptrend, sold off, and I'm guessing you're trying to look for a dip buy opportunity or something of that sort. It makes sense, right? I'm not a huge, this isn't a huge focus for me, right? The direction is not super clear. This is all based off of an assumption that we hope that it pushes up. I don't know anything about this company, and I don't find the pattern to be consistent enough. And I think that's one of the biggest things. It's like being able to see, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Oh, I guess bless me. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, one of the biggest things that I like to focus on. So for those that are always asking like, what is one of my main focuses for swing trading, even for day trading? As a technical trader, I like patterns. I like patterns to repeat themselves, right? And when there's consistent patterns, it makes it much easier for me to be able to understand where to enter and where to exit. I don't see there to be a very consistent pattern with ADS. That's something that like shows like that would be extremely comfortable for me. And again, we're all wired in different ways. So if you do and you think that, yes, it normally gets rejected at the SMA line, I can buy the dip here and then sell it at the SMA line, then so be it, right? But yeah, that's really just it. So it normally gets rejected around the SMA line. This would be viewed as a dip by opportunity. Yes, you could wait for higher highs, and then as it becomes overextended, begin to lock in profits of that sort. So there we go. Do you think that the market is going to move faster, lack of a better term, since it's a shorter weekend? No, I don't think that has a correlation to it. So I would just be careful on Thursday and make sure that you close out all positions that you don't want to hold over the 3-day weekend. Yeah. We have someone saying blow your nose, Weston. All right. So we got CVNA.
Blow my nose. What?
All right, here we go. Carvana. So, yeah, definitely. So what do you guys think about Carvana? I want to talk about some pros. I want to talk about some cons. So Carvana, showing signs of an uptrend pattern, making higher highs, validating the EMA line, right? I think those are all positives. Now, the biggest thing that I like to focus on is it a good deal? Can it continue to uptrend? Of course, anything can continue to uptrend, especially with something with such a strong direction of something pushing up, right? We can see based off previous patterns, and again, just looking at general areas, how often does it get in between the price points of $65 to $75? Not very often. Normally, it trades around this general area, which would be viewed as a better deal to then be able to sell it for a profit. So as it becomes more overextended and more overbought, one of the biggest things that I just like to make sure that I understand is that, hey, this thing is a little bit more on the overbought side. It's not so much of a good deal. If I see it trending up on the day, then great. I can day trade it and approach it in that sense. Can I swing trade this, or should I swing trade this, and would that make sense? Well, again, does the margin of profit outweigh the potential margin for loss? That's just something that you're going to have to come up with yourself. Just be realistic with yourself and being able to see based off of the current price point what it can get to and what it could potentially sell off to. Then maybe just waiting for a little bit more confirmation while still getting in for a good deal can be a decent approach. Lobster is calling out UWT. Makes sense as /CL is trying to push up, right? So on the 1-day, 1-minute chart, we can see that it's trying to show signs of a reversal. If we pay a little bit more attention to /CL, where's that at? /CL, we could see that, yes, it is trying to reverse, but there is no general confirmation that this thing is showing signs of it making higher highs just yet. So we don't know if it's going to be selling off. We don't know if it's going to be pushing up. So again, the same thing would follow with UWT, as that's the correlating ETF. So just be very careful. You know where previous highs are at. So again, you can have an ideal, general entry, general exit. You get to calculate the margin of profit to see if it's worth it. If it is, great. Set up a plan of where your entry, exit, and where you would manage your risk accordingly. Right away, when it comes down to, so I lost $600 yesterday. My reason to invest in you guys was on the 1-day, 5-minute chart, 1-day, 5-minute chart, on the 5-day, 10-minute chart. Did you swing trade this, Emiliano? EOLS. Overall direction for EOLS is still showing signs of a downtrend. So it's trying to validate the overall SMA line as a support. Again, just looking at general price points around overall, high points and low points, and just based off previous patterns, this is not a good deal. I mean, it still makes sense on why it can sell off. And then just be sure to take into consideration that every time ever since this huge push, and you can see there's been some form of manipulation here, what drove the price up, every time it's been making lower highs. So the overall direction in reality is actually downtrending very gradually. CIEN. Here we go. Okay, so this one was showing signs of very consistent uptrend pattern. Bless you. Overall SMA line began to no longer point up. It began to no longer show signs of an uptrend. It began to kind of almost flatline and almost show signs of this peak formation, right? So we're getting a lot of consolidation here. We don't know if this thing is going to break above the SMA line. SMA line used to act as a support, which then means that it can now act as a resistance. So be very well aware of that before entering, thinking that it's going to push right through. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Aaron, I think the best way to understand on how to use the RSI, again, the RSI is an indicator. You should never solely trade just based off of one indicator. One of my biggest focuses when using the RSI indicator is just understanding within this certain range or within this certain time frame of when something is a good deal or oversold and how quick it oversold, right? So being able to see that usually anything below 40 based off of the RSI indicator is viewed as something on the oversold side, and then when it comes down to pushing above 60 to 70 RSI, it's a little bit more on the overbought side. So you could see that it could signal as when it pushes above 70 RSI, it starts to label it or mark it as red. And that's just something that you just have to keep a close eye on. The biggest focus or the biggest reasons that I use the RSI indicator is just to try to get a better understanding that if I'm getting a good deal or not. You could use this on the 1 day, 1 minute chart as well, as it can be affected depending on how quick it pushes up and how quick it pushes down. But there's multiple times that sometimes it does hit and it is overextended, but it does continue to uptrend. And that's why we always say to not solely rely on one indicator. Ricky, can you show quickly how to make past entries and exit points show up on your charts? You click here, and then you click show trades, and then you click OK. Okay, so you're day trading it. So /NG, this was all day yesterday. It was trading between the middle and bottom view up though. So I don't know why you were looking at the, I think you said 1 day, 5 minute chart, and then you're looking at the the 10-day chart. Altogether, the overall direction was down for natural gas. So I'm not too sure what led you to believe that you gas was a good trade to continue to hold. Yes, you could scalp it, and we've talked about it multiple times about being able to buy the lows and sell the highs. There's a huge risk in doing that. So if you're someone that is just getting started and just becoming familiar with these series of different best practices, it takes time and it takes practice, and you probably shouldn't be trading with that much to lose $600. So I'm not too sure if that's paper trading money, but again, direction is super important, especially as you're just becoming more comfortable with different patterns. Having the overall direction not in your favor and actually against you is literally just that. It's trading against you. So it's just another layer of risk that you're adding to the formula. So yeah. AMAT, what's going on, Milner? Here we go. Okay, so AMAT looks like it pushed up quite a bit, overbought, overextended, no longer a good deal. It's kind of just consolidating here, so it's not even making higher highs anymore. So we'll go on the 5 day, 5 minute chart. Looks like it was indicating signs of an uptrend. Okay, nice. Not bad, right? So, I mean, you found something that was showing signs of a downtrend, overall direction change. It began to show signs of an uptrend. Now the biggest thing is you have to understand that when this thing pushes up, it pulls back, right? So it pushes up, becomes overextended, pulls back, pushes up, pulls back. Usually the SMA line is viewed as an area where it's normally a good deal. So again, just keep a very close eye out on that. Is there anything that you see that?
I'm just looking at the main four, but
Tesla?
Yeah, I think it's just scary because it pushed up so quick to me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean,
right off the bat.
I would. So it already pushed up to 270.
Yeah, it's just you think it'll pull back, or right, and that'd be the term.
Yeah,
in a sense, like it could.
So yeah, but look at the overall pattern. So one of the things that I would pay attention to is the SMA line is downtrending. So this is the resistance,
yes.
And every time that it sells off very aggressively, that could be viewed as a potential support. It sold off pretty aggressively yesterday, and that's kind of where it touched the support here.
Yeah.
And normally it tries to push up. The thing about Tesla right now is that it's a descending pattern. Yeah. So just like we talked about earlier, kind of like with you guys, there's another layer of risk added to the table, especially with a descending pattern. So we don't know exactly where close to or near to the SMA line, it's going to get rejected. So yes, if there is a little margin of profit, and it's up to you to, if that's the one that you want to take a position on. I just want to remind you that the direction just isn't in your favor.
Yeah.
So, ePay, what's good on Kira? What's up? Okay, so again, direction is not in your favor with this one. We could see that it was showing signs of a downtrend, a lot of consolidation around the overall SMA line, no proper indication of this thing pushing up. So again, the easiest way for me to put this is out of every stock, or out of every ETF, out of anything out there that you came across, this is what you're saying is the best opportunity right now in your watch list. That's what I'm getting for you. You're sharing this in the ticker call format. I think that's great, right? And you broke it down and you explained it. So I see that you're just getting started, but I just want to remind you that this has to be like, let's say you're a car investor, right? And actually Weston sold his Tacoma that he had for about 3 weeks. He was driving around, had a Tacoma that he bought for how much?
$5,300.
$5,300 and sold it for $7,500. So what's the margin of profit on that one?
$2,200.
$2,200, right? On a $5,500 investment. So a nice little margin. So is he going to buy a truck for $7,000 that he could sell for $7,100?
Yeah, I see. No.
Do you see like the margin of profit just isn't worth it, right? Or maybe buy a truck that he doesn't really know that if he could sell for a larger profit, but he's just buying it for $1,000. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's a good deal, right? So you just want to make sure that you keep it in mind that you're given certain opportunities, right? Within day trading, if you're under the PDT rule, 3 day trades that you're able to take advantage of within a 5-day period. When it comes down to cars, depending on the legal limit within your state, it could be anywhere from 4 to 5, right? Opportunities that you're able to take advantage of within a 12-month period. So you want to make sure that they're quality trades. That's all I want to remind you. So if you think that this is one of your quality trades, then great. I just don't like the overall direction. I see the one thing that I do want to give you, I do want to let you know that you did well on is being able to identify the low points, the high points, the low points, the high points, and the low points. You did a good job. I mean, it's viewed as a good deal in the sense of where and the range that it's trading at right now, but it's not indicating signs of an uptrend just yet, right? The MACD looks good, the RSI looks good, all this looks good. It's just the overall actual stock in the direction and the way that it's headed is not something that I personally find too attractive, right? Oh, okay. 100%. I still think you did an amazing job here. So thank you again for calling it out. JMIA. Okay, so this one just came out. 5-day, 5-minute chart. Gonna do 20-day, 1-hour chart. Yeah, no. 5-day, 5-minute chart. Yeah, so it's been showing signs of an uptrend pattern. It literally was released 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So this is the 3rd day. Not enough data for me to analyze. I know nothing about the company. It's been showing signs of an uptrend. The indication, the overall uptrend right now is not present. It's actually just consolidating. So maybe when the direction is a little bit more clear, as a day trade. But other than that, I would not touch this. Again, just a reminder, I'm a technical trader, so I need patterns and charts to trade it, right?
/CL sold off really hard. I don't know if that is a big deal.
Okay, so if /CL sells off very hard, what does that mean?
I forgot what the
correlating ETF is UWT.
Okay, so it pushed up.
Yeah, great. I did see someone call out /CL with a sell-off.
Yeah.
So this could be viewed as a dip buy opportunity if you see value in it. So the overall direction for /CL was showing signs of an uptrend.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Weston's all happy. Ticker symbol GH. Overall direction is showing signs of an uptrend. It pushed up very aggressively. It began to sell off, validated the SMA line as a support. Overall direction is trending up. So I would just watch out for these previous resistance levels where it's gotten rejected before that can act as new resistance levels. So just approach it with ease, right? And understand that if there is a break of pattern, if it breaks below the EMA line and begins to sell off, that you're quick to take action. That's the most important thing. What is going on? So JKS, here we go. A lot of consolidation that we're seeing here. So it was showing sign of an uptrend pattern. Looks like the overall direction might begin to change. And the way that I could see that is, again, you could see that overall high points, low points, high points, low points, high points, low points, and it's beginning to show signs of an uptrend. MACD, RSI, that looks good. So as long as you understand that also the previous highs are not as high as where it's been going before, don't expect this thing to push up all the way up to $22, and expect a resistance around this general area right here. So as long as you have that in mind, I wish you the best with your trade. Did you get in yet?
Yeah, I thought I did. Jesus.
All right, here we go. ICPT. There we go. Okay, nice. So this is pharmaceutical. How many of you guys know how much I love pharmaceutical companies? I love them, right? Right, Wes?
You love them?
I don't.
Really?
Yeah, no, I really don't like them. I don't like these. I don't like biotech.
Dude, why am I? This is definitely. I'm in
Favorite section. Again, I'm just speaking based off of like my own experience, which has nothing to do with you guys, right? But I do see a nice pattern here. Do you guys see the pattern that I think how many of you guys like ascending uptrend patterns? How many of you guys like descending patterns? How many of you guys like horizontal patterns? I personally do like horizontal patterns. It makes it very easy for me to identify low points, high points, low points, high points. And as long as we wait for confirmation and lock in profits at any indication of a resistance, then, it would make sense, right? So very horizontal, uptrending. I like horizontal patterns. I like them flat, uptrend only. I like that JD. Ascending rocks, like I agree, right? Ascending and uptrend patterns are obviously our favorites. I was trying to see if anyone said descending patterns. I'd be like, wow, you guys are crazy. But horizontal and ascending. There we go. I would just like to wait for a little bit more confirmation of an uptrend. So maybe when it breaks above the EMA line or looking at previous patterns on when it's bounced at here before, how did it bounce and what indications can you look for based off previous patterns to then signal, okay, this is the time to buy. So again, just pay a little bit closer attention when it breaks above the EMA line, when the MACD begins to curl up a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with just giving it a little bit more time just so you don't get in and then it continues to sell off. That would be, worst case scenario. So let's go ahead and set a series of alerts, but I really do appreciate I think this one has to be one of the most unique callouts that we've had, at least for the day. Are you still not in?
No, I messed up.
Give me 1 quick second to let me see.
Jeez, and it pushed up, and I was pulling back again.
That's fine. So what are you trying to do? What price point are you trying to get in at?
I want to.
This is /CL. So this is not, you're not buying, so you have to go to UWT. You're trying to buy the future.
That's the issue?
Maybe. So go into UWT.
Oh, okay.
So now you can do command buy or option buy, right?
Yep.
You click edit, and then you click the amount of shares that you want. So by getting 100 shares, I think that's $2,000. So just take that into consideration. And turn on your level 2 so you can see where people are buying and selling. You can see that there's buyers around, so I would put a limit order around 290 and just get some skin in the game. So you're going to do 700 shares? I don't think you should. I think that's a lot. I think you should do like
400.
Yeah. And then you can click here confirm and then view how much that is. That's about 8,000, so that's fine. And that's just, that's about a 1/3 position size. So then you could send it if you feel comfortable. And there you go, you got filled.
Oh boy.
Alrighty. So again, keep a close eye on it, and if it begins to sell off, just make sure that you have a stop loss in mind, right? So where do you want to manage your risk? Your position size, I want to remind you, is very small right now.
Yeah.
So if
for the whole account. It's
yeah. It's not for your overall account, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so it has gone up. So this is what he's looking at, just so you guys don't feel left out. So looking at /CL under the 1 day 1 minute chart, it's now starting to show signs of a potential recovery, right? So if you feel like it's still showing signs of an uptrend and you want to add more to your position size, then this is where you would do it. It just broke above the EMA line, and the MACD is pushing up, the RSI is pushing up, so it's up to you.
I don't know if I want to add more. I don't know.
Do you just want to leave it at that?
I'm kind of feeling safe right here.
Okay, so just get your limit order.
I just know that, it's not going to show like much gain overall on the account, but.
Yeah, just get your limit order ready to sell. All right. BEC. Super overbought, super overextended. Looks like a straight pump and dump. This is something that it went through yesterday, right? Yeah. I'm not too sure what caused the price up. Actually, I don't know if it's a pump dump, but I don't know what the news is. But it drove the price up quite a bit, around 36%. Ticker symbol S. Here we go. Okay, so this one's kind of all over the place. I would almost view this as a horizontal pattern. This is Sprint. This is a telecommunication company here in the United States. We can see that now it's showing signs of a resistance right around the overall SMA line. So it looks like it's actually getting rejected. As it pushed up, got rejected, and might be making lower lows. Look at the RSI and look at the MACD. It's showing signs of a descending MACD, so keep a close eye out on that. Is West paper trading? Yes, we explained that. If you guys didn't watch this video is actually doing pretty good. It got a lot of positive feedback.
Thank you guys for that. Everything was positive.
Yeah, I plugged really cool. His I think his channel is the second link in the description whenever you guys want to check it out. If you do, then again, he's going to be uploading a daily video recapping his trade as a beginner for at least the next 4 days. So the thumbnail was gold. No, he means my thumbnail. Yeah.
No,
the one that I had on my profile. Weston definitely did not like that.
That's all right. All right, so hey, I know this might be beneficial for the group.
What?
So I was looking at to sell like at a limit.
Yeah.
Or what I should put my limit at. Then I was looking like at the analysis. So yeah. I had it very safe, or I have it very safe currently.
Yeah.
To where to sell back at. It's basically back at where it was, but that might be too.
Holy moly, this thing's aggressively selling off, so look at. So what are you trying to do?
My limit's there. Do you think that's too...
Well, look at the MACD. If the MACD begins to peak out,
okay.
Then if this thing begins to descend and you see this thing begin to trend down, I would just sell it. But if it pushes up, so this is a resistance at the middle VWAP, and it's
really cool, by the way.
Okay. But yeah, so if you see this thing continue to push up, then yeah, that's in favor of you. But if you see it consolidate and the MACD begin to sell off and the RSI begins to sell off, then that's not in favor of you. We saw a huge push up right now on /NQ based off previous patterns. And again, this is not something that I would encourage any of you guys to do. I'm trading live right now, so I want you guys to see me take the position. But in SQs, which is the inverse ETF, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to buy, let me see.
Oh, man. Come on, baby.
Let's see. So I have my limit order there. All right, so I got filled a little bit below 907, but again, that's just because I see /NQ extremely overbought. Based off previous patterns, I see why this thing would begin to sell off. So if it does, then I'll add more to my position size on not on /NQ, on SQs. But again, the overall direction right now for NQ is pushing up. So I just want to remind you, right? The direction changed very quickly because it was showing signs of an uptrend. It began to sell off, right? And then break below the SMA line, but then it bounced off the middle VWAP. Now it became overextended. I want to remind you I want to make it super clear that /NQ and TQs are showing signs of an uptrend. SQs is selling off. I took a position on SQs. Please don't copy my trades. We're going to close out the live stream in just a little bit. So if you don't understand why I'm buying, if you don't understand why I'm selling, then I just want to remind you that I'm buying the dip on a descending stock right now because I see that it's extremely oversold and it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me, and if it doesn't make sense to you, please, 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 I'm just reminding you to not take the position.
But
so look, you see the MACD
in a sense it's selling off, right?
Not selling off,
but it's flatlining.
It's flatlining and no longer making higher highs.
But that opened higher, right?
Yeah, it's general area. So again, it's just going to begin to consolidate. It's up to you and however comfortable you feel.
I've lowered my limit sell.
Yes, you have. Do you know from your original entry point to your exit or to where you want to exit, what's the percentage growth?
Well, yeah. Let me look what I even got in there. Okay. 20.
We already talked about AMD. We talked about AMD selling off, and the overall direction, even on the 180-day chart, was showing signs of a descending pattern. So I already shared that.
It's not much.
Huh?
It's not much, my percentage. 0.4.
So even if it
Currently
pushes, so the way that I think about this is like, even if it continues to push up a little bit, that much more isn't going to make much of a difference. So I would rather you just enter and exit for a green trade and just leave it at that. So I would,
huh? And now
it's pushing back down. Do you know what was your original entry point?
$20.97. $20.97.
So right now, where it's at?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah. Danton, I don't like to, because it hasn't confirmed that, I don't want to say that assumption and then other traders take the same trade as me and then I close out the live stream and then I cut losses, but other traders didn't know what it is that, we saw, and then ending up like holding that position and bag holding and then / NQ pushing up and then them holding the inverse ETF TQs. So there you go. Let's see. You cannot be posting things like that. If I see anything like this again, I'll remove you from all chats. So again, we've been getting random people posting very like demeaning comments about like, if you have something that you want to talk about, direct message me about your day. If you're not having a great day, direct message me. I don't need you to be sharing like self-harm like comments in the main chat. There's no reason to. There's no benefit for our overall group. And if you actually want to talk about it, then let's talk about it. All right. So here you go. Again, it's catching a support at the EMA line. Keep a very close eye out for that. What?
Sold off.
It's all good, dude. It's part of the game. But do you understand?
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect example. Do you understand that, like, you were trying to see, like, oh, like, I want this thing to continue to push up. I want this thing to continue to push up. I wouldn't even be paying too much attention to UWT. I like to pay more attention to the correlating ETF, which is /CL. And by looking at /CL, look, this thing, as it was pushing up and showing signs of an option, it got rejected here. This is what caused the sell-off. So, in all honesty, you got in for a good deal. And this is something that, let me share my screen. You got in for a good deal. So, looking at previous patterns, you got in for a good deal. Looking at the overall direction on the 180-day chart, /CL is showing sign of an uptrend, but recently it began to sell off a little bit. So, one thing that you could pay attention to is, based on the general area of like where it currently is at right now, you can do one of two things. You can manage a risk if it continues to sell off, or if you think that it has the potential for recovery, then hold it. But one of the biggest things that I wanted you to like understand is on the 1 day, 1 minute chart, when you saw that it sold off and then it began to push up and you wanted it to continue to push up, it's showing signs of consolidation. The MACD already peaked out and then it began to descend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the RSI began to flatline. So there's already indications. So it doesn't matter where you entered. You have to understand that, like, where you entered does not matter. Like, I don't care. I don't care about it, nor does the market. It doesn't matter where you want to exit because you have no influence to the overall market, right? So by looking at these different indicators of being able to identify low points and high points and resistance levels, when you saw that the MACD was peaking out and you saw that, the pattern was falling and that it was peaking out as well, and there's a reason behind that, that's where I would lock in profits. Not because you want to, but because it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the hardest part because you're like, damn, I didn't make much money off of it. But again, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like the biggest thing is you don't want to go from, and you're not even in the red, but you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
All right. But I think you did a good job buying the dip. We just have to maybe give it a little bit more time. All right, so let's see. Watching you helps someone trade helps. Oh, sweet. Super happy to hear that. Look at Weston. All right. Oh, I appreciate that, Jennifer. Thank you. He gets so excited. It's so funny. It reminds me of like almost like when I first started. Because I see you guys get excited too, but I don't see like your faces and the emotions. This guy, like, I couldn't talk.
Look at that. I know. Oh,
yeah, he's talking about look how strong that push is. So this is where I would have added more to my position size.
Oh yeah, dang it.
Or just sell. Just sell it.
No, I'm done. I'm out.
What'd you sell?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What'd you sell?
I sold at a bad point.
What'd you sell?
I sold it. What? Look at it.
You lost $16?
Yeah, because it just kept pushing down like rapid. Like the candlestick.
So
low.
we need to do a little bit better job.
Yeah, I know. I freaked out.
Controlling the emotions. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I freaked out.
I understand it's like fake money too, right?
Yeah. I take it as like if I was using my money.
No, I like it. So okay, that's good. We'll work on it. Controlling the emotions. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. I want to thank you guys again so much for your time. Hope you guys had fun. Watching with the breakdowns and then watching Weston also take his first position for the day. It's called panic selling, but again, it happens, and there's,
That's what I think I told you.
Yeah.
First time it was panic selling.
It's all good. It's an area of opportunity. We'll work on it. So hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. It looks like /NQ pushed right back up. So this is around the general area of where I bought SQs. If I'm not mistaken, I'll double check here. Yeah, we're right back at 907, which is I bought at 9079. So around that general area, if /NQ continues to push up, then I'll cut losses on SQs. But ultimately, and there it goes. It's still pushing up. It just pushed down. Where's it at? Yeah, it's still around 907, 906. It's a little bit of a lower cap ETF. So we'll just have to follow up with it. But again, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to direct message me. Really do appreciate you guys' time. Please have a reason behind every action that you take. Be calm, be cool, calm, and collected. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.